elsewhere, because you've just hit level 6 on Rezo.
Uh-oh. He's going to try and TP back in to help out.
Don't even need the mana burn creep if you could just force him to use out all those spells defensively.
So what's the call now for Spirit? Are we hoping that Toronto Tokyo is going to start to influence some of the other lanes?
I think they might even just be waiting for Nisha to actually make that first rotation, right? He's going to move down towards the Radiant jungle, just doing this thing, shoving in the lane, getting a lot of the farm on Toronto Tokyo, but when I want him to make his movement, a kill's not enough. It needs to be a kill into a tower to allow Yatoro to go back and be able to pick up that farm for himself. Because while Collapse is having a fantastic game, it's coming at the expense of your carry.
He is having such an incredible game though, isn't he, on Collapse? Top of the net worth. He's had Midas for a little bit of time now, so he's going to get another use out of it.
Zero downtime. I know you love that with the Midas.
Yes. Going to have the efficiency going. But Postgron decides, see if he's going to have to damage himself. They do have Nisha starting to move over, so it's going to be a little bit too late to pop to the north. Nisha should still get a return kill nonetheless, but Maposhka's pretty happy with that. A solo kills a lot of experience, and the concern I had from Spirit was just maybe how late they would be requiring out of the hookshot to be making early game plays. So the fact that he gets all that experience is going to be really nice for them.
But I mean, just have a look at this bot lane. Crystallis was not forced back into the jungle, but he doesn't feel confident laning up into this Doom because he's level 7. He hasn't got the point skilled up into the Doom itself yet, but if you do, then Ursa's just standing there. He's pretty vulnerable to just dying this early on with how farmed Collapse is. So Crystallis is going to need to lift his game. If you could get a kill onto Collapse, that would be enormous for not just his confidence, but slowing down a tempo a little bit.
Really needs this kill to connect here on Secret. They need to start to open up the map. Get Nisha close towards the blink and find Yatoro farming in the jungle. They're going to see the creeps off to the right side. They'll drop the ward as well, so they know exactly where the positioning is of the troll. No one else is starting to TP in as well. He does not have a level in the battle trance, so it looks like Secret... Oh no, Yatoro lives. Whirling Axes is enough. Really important now. Secret unable to convert on that.
And they're going to scout out the fact that it's warded up there as well, so nice free D-ward coming through for Mira. Going to be able to pick that up, might even get the... Oh,
potentially free.
Potentially free. Nice done.
And Toronto Tokyo
He's got the arcane root
involved as well. They know a lot of spells were used prior. They're going to turn to try and deal with the last track, making it difficult for Toronto to look to enter.
Or not.
Even Maposhka wants to get involved.
When Rezo shows, though, you can't look to pin onto this. He's way too strong.
That is indeed, but still, both sides respect each other. Back and forth, seeing the weaknesses, but none are being shown at the moment. No cracks.
No cracks right now. It does allow Yatoro to be able to make that rotation towards mid. He'll deal with the catapult wave as well, so not too worried about losing that tower. And this is the thing. We said that Team Secret were wanting to up the tempo. And every time you're able to take out these siege creep waves, it's going to be beneficial.
Oh, Maposhka, a hook shot in. They're even going to try and rotate Collapse as well. He's got the Doom and the Blink already. 11 minutes in. But where's the follow-up though? That's where Toronto Tokyo is going to come into play. They can connect onto the Primal Beast and stop the escape as an incredible movement from Spirit, catching Secret off guard to Blink Dagger timing.
Yeah, and Yatoro is like, thanks boys, I'm just going to chill back and farm. Look, I mean, Collapse, what a god coming through. He might even be able to get another kill here, or at the very least, force another TP rotation to come out from Crystallis. Every time that this happens and you're not getting a high value kill, it's a huge amount of your time and farm wasted. He needs to get into that early diffusal blade and make the impact happen, and he might have made a rotation just for nothing. Miposhka TP's away.
Jeez. Oh no. I mean, you're now really hoping that Nisha, with this blink coming out shortly, that they're able to find some kills off the back of it. I mean, the Tumbler's Toy is without a doubt going to be able to help out with Tiny's game, but this is not the start you'd be hoping for if you were Secret.
No, absolutely not. They wanted to have the net worth lead at this stage. They wanted to dominate that bottom lane, make sure that you weren't able to get into this lead, and I mean, it feels like they're going to have a lot of difficulties with being able to take out Collapse, especially if he's going to be able to get into a BKB timing equivalent to that diffusal blade. That's going to be the big issue.
Zayats, I don't believe, had any vision of Maposhka in the tree line, but somehow sidesteps the hook shot. He will still be chased down nonetheless, and Toronto Tokyo is able to move in and get a kill. Thank you very much, Maposhka. I'll take that. Level 10 on the last track, and now with maxed out Edict, this will be a tower going the way of Spirit.
He needed it though, to be fair. The Toronto Tokyo last hit, it's so important we mentioned being able to get into that Bloodstone just for that little bit of extra survivability in these engagements. Not the longest cooldown anymore as well, so it really enables you to consistently take these team fights.
Were they rushing?
Your Ursa draft does help out a little bit. Need to make sure that Chen creep starts to tank it up a little bit, but they're scattered it out.
Oh.
Hook shot in
Cooldown
well.
for 20. Looks like they might be a little bit too late. Collapse with a blink. Can he time it? I'm not going to go for it. Big ages to pick up here from Chrysalis. Just allowing that second Roche to spawn at a faster timing. And for them, they're getting very close to a stage where they're ready to go. And Resolution's going to have a great timing on the BKB. You got Diffusal Blade almost completed. Serpent Wards are the ready. But really, the other important thing is this mechanism on Poppy now completed. They can get some kills. You can really do a lot of damage into the objectives.
Oh, for sure. Even just the Caesar's Serenity, it might not feel like that much, but when Yaturo's locked in onto someone, you just drop it down, provides them with a little bit of that extra survivability. No points in the Divine Favor just yet, and no Hand of God.
Speaking of Yatoro, is really far pushed up forward, and with Nisha's blink as well, an easy kill for Secret to find a much needed kill for them.
Very, very greedy coming through there from him. I mean, he hadn't picked up the Battle Fury just yet. I think it was almost available on the Courier. No, never mind, about 600 gold away. And with that as well, Puppy was just sitting mid, getting his level 6. Now the Hand of God's available, and now maybe you look to make that aggressive movement with the Aegis, with the Diffusal Blade, I believe, coming out for Crystalis. And they've even got the Mass Serpent Wards back up again.
This is all the timings aligning here for Secret. Like, you are ready to go. A Nyx Assassin is very weak into a 5-man. You know that the Troll Warlord is going to have some difficulties with getting involved as well. Just trying to see what Secret, how they want to set themselves up. If they're just going to brute force down mid, or if they feel like they need a pick-off before they can maybe start to put some damage into the tower.
Yeah, obviously it's not ideal for Yatoro to die on the bottom side, but I can see why they were doing it. You know, he knows that that timing was coming very shortly, so they wanted to make sure that every single rotation would be completely obvious, right? So if the lane's pushing in underneath the tower and they're not showing on the map, something's up. So he causes his death, slows down that Battle Fury timing. It does mean that they still didn't take a tower off the back of that. It's what Secret do in the next couple of minutes that's going to determine the outcome of this game, I think.
Looks like they were just waiting for the BKB on Resolution. Now starting to be delivered on the Courier.
And you've got the Siege
the 10
mid
as well.
To play around that, Mira, he's going to do his best maybe to try and shove this one out. Not wanting to commit the Impale, of course, in case a team fight breaks out, but just pulling the wave underneath the tower, making sure that the Siege Creep is going to get hit down by the tower as opposed to being protected. Slow invade. Coming from Secret, just slowly taking a bit more of the map control away from Team Spirit. They can still look to play around that Siege Creep. I wonder if Zayat is going to look to just commit the Mass Serpent Ward super early on into this, or if they feel like they can take the Tier 1 tower because of how strong they've hit their timings.
They're going to jump on Miro. Toronto Tokyo's off the right side, ready to provide some assistance, but yeah, no, you're not going to look to enter the fire as soon as it starts like that. So Secret get a kill into an objective, and now they're going to look to try and occupy some of the jungle.
If they could catch Collapse, that'd be a big kill, but he's playing underneath his vision, and he's got the BKB as well if he wanted to make a bit more of an aggressive jump. Might just be looking to wait for Mira to be back up online.
Puppy. Clap's going to move on forward. Jumping back, respecting the threat of Chrysalis. Both sides will be able to clean up the Observer Wards. Chrysalis still sticking around, but...
Spirit are happy with this. You know, it's a heavy rotation. They were forced to use the Mass Serpent Wards because they weren't confident in being able to take the Tier 1 tower without it. Means that you're still able to defend the Tier 2. You can have more space to farm on Yatoro. He's got the Battle Fury and he's going into that BKB, and you certainly feel a lot more strong once you've got that to play with.
Collapse might be in trouble top. He's going to be quick on the fingers, but Zayat still gets the BKB off, and Collapse going to turn it around. Wants the kill onto the Shadow Shaman, instead they get the deny. Now the damage. Oh my, Crystals just rips apart, sinking the claws deeper into the Doom. And that is big now. An ultimate use BKB as well. You can get more out of the map if you're Secret.
Yeah, they're going to try and do a little bit of a push onto the top side, but again, Shadow Shaman, deny, great. Don't have the Mass Serpent Wards anyway, but you're still forced to TP back, so they don't actually get too much out of this top side of the map. Gonna deal a little bit of damage into it, but no glyph being used. Just forces, again, Team Secret back to be playing a little bit more defensive. They've got some timings coming up, I suppose, with the Sange coming through from the Primal Beast. I would assume he's going to go into the Halberd this time around against the Troll Warlord as opposed to the Kaya Sange.
Oh man, Nyx Assassin again, what a hero, but really it's the player that makes it shine. Pops the smoke from Zayats and Crystallis.
Yoinks the haste, maybe. Yeah, would love to give it over to Toronto Tokyo, but if you can just be this speedy little roaming Observer Ward, even better. He's so close to his own Blink Dagger as well, just to set up for a few of these team fights. This could be huge.
See if they want to try and... Do you feel like you want to force it if your Spirit now? Knowing the Aegis is down and you just got some of your own items?
Maybe now that you've got the Kaya on Toronto Tokyo, you're feeling confident enough. I mean, you'll have Bloodstone Kaya, which is a pretty big spike. You've got the Blink Dagger on the Nyx Assassin. You've got Doom with the BKB available once again. So, yeah, they're feeling confident enough to be able to make this push forward. But I like Secret. I like the fact that they've taken this Tier 2 tower away. It means that they can occupy the jungle. Again, shrink the amount of space that Yatoro has to be able to farm. And enables them to have that extra control for the second Roshan, especially with an Ursa draft, right? We know how important it is for him to be able to claim that free Aghanim shard for himself.
Yep. Very, very important for him to have that extra little survivability. See how both sides are able to get themselves set up here for that next fight that's eventually going to occur. I feel like Spirit, the big reason if they're going to come out on top depends on Collapse and who he can use his ultimate on. Who do you feel like is that prime target? Who does he need to focus down in these fights with the Doom?
Depends who he makes the initiation onto. I feel like as long as you could block out, I would probably say the Primal Beast, to be honest, before he's able to use the BKB, then you're just a slow right-clicker at that stage, and then you just don't need to worry about him at all. You can pop your own BKB, you can run at the Shadow Shaman, and look to take him out with just some of your right-click damage and a lot of the other tools that you have at your disposal.
Bottom lane Collapse.
No basher yet,
trouble.
but
We'll stomp into the BKB.
They use the BKB for it, though. So they're not going to be too happy about that on Spirit, and maybe that opens up the opportunity for Secret to make their own move. DD picked up.
Now for them.
Yep, DD, Echo Saber. Now Nisha becomes a little bit more of a team threat. It's this roller coaster constantly, right? Going back and forth with who's strong at what period, around what timings. Team Spirit, they really do feel like they need to play around these BKBs quite heavily. Just, again, make more time for Yatoro to be able to pick up his. He's only about 700 gold away, but there's not really too many camps for him to be able to farm, and he knows that without Doom having that BKB for himself, he has to play a little bit more defensively, which means that Yatoro doesn't have the freedom to farm. He's not in this jungle. He's just off inside the tree line as Secret going for the next pick off to lead into a tower with the Mass Serpent Wards.
I want to force the issue here. Kill into an objective, getting some map control potentially with the Roche spawning shortly as well.
But they've read it.
A lot.
They've read it on Spirit. They're grouping up together at the top of these stairs, making sure to pick up a bunch of these kills. Maposhka as well. Look at this. He's even stacking inside of the Radiant jungle. It's going to be under vision though, so I wonder if that's going to get scouted out and have a response to it by Team Secret. You're not quite at the stage yet where you might be looking to go into the Roche pit, although actually it's a 2-second respawn time. This is going to fit Secret entirely as they make that rotation back.
Down.
Yeah,
Nisha. So we get onto the postcard. A couple of members of Spirit are nearby. They actually want to take the team fight. Mira's going to jump in with a fault from Victoria. They need a way to be able to cancel the shackles. Collapse going to try and target down Crystal at the moment. The Doom being applied to the Ursa. They've got the 4 damage thanks to Toronto Tokyo leading to the middle of the fight as well, but it's not enough. As Resolution now looks to hit back with the Pulverize. The damage instantly negated thanks to Mira's spike carapace. So Toronto Tokyo is gone unaddressed. They were trying to blow him up, but it just wasn't enough, and our Spirit can catch up to Nisha onto the left side. But Resolution, he wants to hit back and charge into the middle and dancing off to the right side. Mira's got the blink back up in a couple of seconds. They know that they can catch up to the Primal Beast.
it's pretty speedy.
They'll have to... Oh, Nisha's also nearby. Beautifully done. Nisha stops the blink. Mira's still always gonna miss. Oh, Nisha, incredibly done from himself. Just enables Resolution. The only issue was if the Nyx Assassin could get on top of him, and Nisha make sure that was not the case.
Remember Game 1, TI-10 Grand Final. Similar sort of thing happens with Mira. Just a little bit off with that stun coming through. Ends up giving up the first blood. This time around, it would have been a super valuable kill to be able to claim onto Rezo, who, I mean, are we surprised anymore? Top of the net worth for Secret, and really does feel like he's doing a big part of carrying this game. Miposhka survived for so long in this fight as well, just causing a little bit more emphasis to be given over onto him. It was a great Doom as well onto the Ursa, realizing that, look, you can take him down, and Crystallis isn't able to do that right-click damage that's needed to be able to not only win the team fight, but he's the one that's going to be able to go into this Roche and take it. They still feel confident enough to be able to just run on in.
Zayats has to be addressed in this next team fight. He did way too much for them in Secret. A lot of the control that he was able to provide, and we'll see if they will be able to do it in this fight.
I think so.
Roche going down, and Anisha's going to get the jump as well. Ooh, a lot of damage blowing up Mira, and now the second Roche, the all-important Roche given over to Crystallis.
Yep. And now it's just, yeah, you can farm, but you want to make good use out of this Aegis. You don't want this to be the farming Aegis where you can be on the enemy side of the map. Just be a little bit more greedy. Couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes. That's when Crystallis really wants to make his move with that BKB timing. Combine the Mass Serpent Wards together with that, and then really look to try and close out this game. He's getting close to the Shadow Blade as well, so he's just going to go for pickoffs to try and enable this, and they'll find one.
Poshka a little bit too late with the hook shot. And the rest of the boys, they don't want to follow up. Spirit, they're just going to look to get out, try and get the other lane shoved in, but Post's going to dance into the tree line.
Oh. Cheeky. All right. Some individual plays coming through, again, causing all three cores to rotate down to the bottom side, and yeah, Rezo gives him the tip. He's like, all right, good work, man. Wasn't quite expecting that one to come through as the Arcane Rune now picked up by Nisha. They're tired of playing on their own side of the map. Maybe the call came from Puppey and saying, why are we going back there? We've got the Aegis, we've got the strength right now, and they're playing without a Doom. So let's drop the wards, let's push this tower in. Even if they pop the glyph, this tier 2's still going down. And this is actually pretty big, right? I feel like the tier 2 is still going to be under a pretty good amount of threat. And now, if you take the next team fight and win, they're not going to have that glyph for the tier 3 on the high ground.
Dire's middle tower
Rezo.
They see Resolution alone at the moment. How do they get the jump? It's going to be off the back of Collapse. Oh, hooks it off the mark. Resolution. Anti on the fingers as well with the BKB use. Let's see if this is going to mean that Spirit can take the fight.
The Puppey might use a couple of his creeps to assist with taking the tower, but just wanting to understand the situation with, where Team Spirit were positioning themselves, and yeah, there we go. BKB being used on Rezo. They feel like they can go, and they've got a pretty good Observer Ward to be able to catch someone out. It might just be the quick kill onto Puppey. Even Zayats as well.
That's a huge target if you can get vision of him.
Yeah, they see him.
Instead, it's going to be in the top lane because they see Nisha, Collapse, and Yutori in combination
Double
together.
stun.
Going to be able to get rid of the position too. Now back down to the south as well. They found another jump on a Zayats. An incredible start to the team fight, but Spirit, they want more and they'll get it. Miposhka, 4 staffs down to the low ground, making sure that Puppey will not be able to slip on her way through the river.
Once again, they get out of this scary timing, right? You go for that probably a little bit too aggressive attempt by Rezo. He doesn't have the BKB to be able to fight just then, so he's forced to play back on his side of the map. You've only got about 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and Crystallis, he's been spending a little bit of time doing, I'm not sure what. He was very close to being able to pick up that BKB a couple of minutes ago, and he's still, good? He's basically got it now, but it's going to mean a lot more net worth being given over to Team Spirit. Get the kill, and while this was happening, they actually got a double stun at the same time onto both the Shadow Shaman and the Chen to enable that follow-up to happen. Just see there, Crystallis wanted to be part of that team fight. He was zoning out Toronto Tokyo, doing a pretty decent thing, but again, I feel like he fits best when he's playing in this like more off-lane style position 1, but this is a game where he needs to be the one to close it out. He needs to be in on the front lines with the rest of his team and prioritizing his own farm a little bit more. Still 4th on net worth, not terrible, but I think now that he's picked up that BKB, there's no excuse. You got to group up with the rest of the team and you got to go. Maybe they get tier 3 neutral items before they choose to do it. I feel like now's the time. All 5 of them seem to be clumped up together. They might just look to use Rezo as bait, maybe baiting someone to move down to this bottom tier 1 tower, and then look to make an aggressive move elsewhere.
And have a lot of vision to play with though in Secret. Gonna need a ward dropped as soon as the smoke pops, and again, Mira's positioning is on point. Gets the blink out.
Oh,
Reads exactly where they are.
Knicks
And now
players,
they're going to
man.
look to wrap around. They've got a ward towards the triangle so they can get themselves set up. Doom on cooldown for 20 seconds though.
Puppy probably would have walked into his death there if not for the rocket coming out from Maposhka.
He might now. Mira with the jump. Chen face checking. Not the easiest kill. Crystal's going to jump over as well. Even with Zayat, so Secret really
Heavy
want to take a
commitment.
deep team fight, but it's not the greatest start. As the Cogs can buy them some spaces, Resolution's going to charge down to the low ground, but collapses in with a Doom, and Yatoro's locked onto his target. They'll be able to kill off the Primal Beast, and now they're looking for more. Benicia with a chain control. Crystalus has to follow up as well. A 1-for-1. They'll turn to try and deal with Toronto. Tokyo as Crystalus once again sinking his claws deeper into the left track, but the roots from Yatoro keeping him alive, and now they'll turn it back around. Benicia finding another
The Aegis
angle,
just
but it's not
expired.
enough. The Aegis just expired. The worst timing possible for Team Secret, as now Yatoro will reign supreme along with the other members from Spirit. What a team fight for them to take, and now they are in firm control of this game one.
Oh, what a back and forth game. Roller coaster. Even in the middle of team fights, it's like, which way is it going to go? They made the amazing initiation through on Rezo, but no hesitation, just dropping the Doom onto him. He wasn't able to get the uproar, didn't provide the slow for the rest of his team, but more importantly, just didn't have the potential to have that extra armor to survive the burst coming through from the Troll Warlord. Gets it onto 3, but yeah, just that instant turnaround coming. Collapse. Able to react effectively, and it's just back and forth, stun after stun, back and forth. The patience coming through, realizing that they weren't going to be able to take out the Ursa instantly. They don't give the attention over to him. They say, let's take out the crowd control first. The root, the lucky root coming through, enabling Toronto Tokyo just to get away. And there's that Aegis expiring in 3, 2, 1, and there it's gone.
Nisha tried to do it in those fights. Multiple rounds of spells being casted, but we just see once he gets stuck inside the middle, the Infernal Blade percent damage is just doing so much to him. He's got to be ever so cautious with the position. If he can dance in and out, and is ideal for them, but Spirit have a gigantic lead now, 7,000. They're going to make the attempt up top. Collapse has got some boys behind him. Let's see if he's going to be able to survive long enough, and he does indeed. At BKB in the turnaround, the Goons have shown up. No one will fall on Spirit. Everyone playing together in unison. They will make sure that Collapse lives, and his counterpart offlaner will go down.
And it's just going to become harder and harder for Team Secret. They've put themselves pretty heavily into this early-ish game. I said, are they going to finish in 30 minutes or not? They've still got tier 3 towers standing and under no threat of looking to go down. And as soon as you pick up even more of these tanky items like Toronto Tokyo, he's got the plate mail. He's going into the Shiva's Guard, going to slow down a lot of these right clicks coming through from the Tiny, who still can scale with this build that he's got. But he's going to need to get that BKB to reliably feel like he can go into the middle of a team fight and not get caught out by the likes of the Infernal Blade, the damage coming through from Toronto Tokyo, as well as Mira on point again so many times with those stuns from the Nyx Assassin.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Just seems like it has to be the perfect ebb and flow of these fights for Secret. In and out, just continue to kite them, but
Radiant's top tower.
who is that target that they have to firstly jump and try and clean off, and then maybe have the advantage?
Gotta be Collapse. Absolutely has to be. I mean, he completely locks down the effectiveness of an Ursa. Same sort of thing with the Primal Beast. So if you're able to get in onto him, he doesn't have the buyback right now. So maybe that's going to be the main priority target, but he's doing a great job shoving out this bottom lane as, again, they're making another move. They try and find that key pick-off with the Shadow Blade, with the double damage and the level 18, but Collapse is out. Those Spidey senses just enabling him to join the rest of his team, and maybe now they go for a smoke in exchange. Shiva's Guard freshly picked up. Natsuro even with the Satanic. I mean, all these timings linking up together, and they're going to use Toronto Tokyo as bait with how tanky he is. Even just preemptively using the Bloodstone there on the wave.
9. Shot. Cautious. Board on the high ground as well. Smoke's gonna pop. Zayat's actually gonna jump into the middle and into his death. Nisha will fall up. They're gonna try and blow up Mira. They'll be fortunate to be able to do so. But now they've got a free angle to target down with the Ursa. Doom out, and look at the damage. Yatoro just cleans him up with ease. And it's up to Resolution to turn this back around. A Pulverize onto Yatora with Zay's positioning, but Spirit, they've got 3 cores nearby. They can protect the Troll and look to try and clean up the remaining forces, as there will be no escape for the Primal Beast.
It does feel like it's fallen out of their hands, doesn't it? They even picked up the gems, so they're going to be able to maintain control over the map, keep these lanes pushed in. No buybacks right now for Team Secret. Yatoro just looking to move on forward. He had the Aghanim Scepter queued up for quite some time, and I was thinking, what's he thinking about here? But I would say the Satanic just enabling him to stay in there, lock in onto a target, and they didn't get that initial jump onto Collapse, which meant that, well, it's the Doom getting in onto Crystallis and his Ursa. He just didn't deal any damage at all in that team fight.
Are you sure? Are they going to look for a toss back? Crystal's TPing in as well. It's only Toronto Turkey behind. This might be an opening, but...
She's got the battle trance again.
Satanic get back up to full health. Fire mine, not again. It's a repeat of the last fight. Now Nisha as well. The Infernal Blade.
They might need to call it.
Just making the Tiny crumble under the damage, and that'll be all she wrote as Spirit. They withstand the early aggression, and they, in the end, will be able to take it 33 minutes in.
What a game by Collapse. They easily MVP for Mike getting away from the laning stage. A good 2,000 net worth ahead of everyone else on the team. You know, some good scouts coming through from Mirror for sure, but Collapse, God, for a good reason. Ending that one in just about the amount of time that you were expecting. Secret had this window that they needed to close the game in, and they just weren't able to accomplish it through a couple of little overextensions, a couple of uses of the BKB that didn't enable them to fully fight as a team, and they didn't find that key target in the Doom to be able to start the team fight onto, which really hindered the effects of multiple of their heroes in those fights.
Such a close game for quite some time, though. Very back and forth. A lot of the team fights really beautiful to watch, honestly, with just the teams respecting each heroes in the middle, dancing out, trying to find their openings, whatever angles they could get.
Just see there, Yatoro, he gets onto someone, even with a pretty good shackles coming through. It doesn't really stop. The threat is always going to be there. Even this fight, which felt like it was going so Team Spirit favored, they were still able to somehow claw it back on Team Secret. They're such a skilled individual team, but unfortunately, just the weight of the more late-game oriented draft and the Team Spirit were able to come out on top. Yeah, helps to maybe miss a stun here and there, but, you know, it happens.
It does happen indeed. You know, players are only human, but it felt like it was this fight, wasn't it?
Yep.
Where they just a little bit too far in an area where it's very difficult to take a fight.
Just look at
Some of
Collapse,
the heroes on
his positioning, getting that Doom off. There's no uproar being used, so there's no slow. There's no pulverize, there's no isolation of these big damage heroes either. And then they just waited out that Aegis timing. Just great performance coming through from Team Spirit. Honestly, I gave the MVP to Collapse, but honestly, whoever's the shot caller for them deserves just as much credit.
Yeah, it's like the shot calling through the game. It's not just like making plays across the map, but it's also just who's calling the shots inside the fights as well.
Oh yeah.
It's not an easy thing under a lot of the pressure, with all the voices being very loud, being able to communicate with ease.
Target priority, when to make their moves, and where exactly they need to be fighting. So yeah, big props need to be given over to Team Spirit here. Able to get that quick win on the board. Again, this puts them slightly ahead of Team Secret right now. 1 win ahead, to be exact, but there's going to be another game to be able to play around, and I thought that maybe the weight of the strong draft would have been too much for this Nyx Assassin and Clockwork to handle, but I just thought that Team Spirit navigated that one superbly.
Yeah, that they did indeed. So it puts us in an exciting position where we get to see kind of what the adaptations are going to be from Secret. If they go back into the Primal Beast, which again has had a lot of success from them so far, and a lineup where we could have easily seen them being able to take this early game. And in fact, we both really liked their draft as well from Secret. We said they had maybe a slight advantage, and just, you know, if they're able to, and we saw getting Roche at a very early stage from Crystallis was incredible. Then the second Roche as well, but just when you have this lineup that kind of needs to end the game a little bit earlier, if you make some mistakes, the margin of error can prove to be a big issue.
Yeah, I mean, literally just these tiny mistakes, right? Not going on the Doom, having that Aegis timeout, and Team Spirit time it perfectly. BKB being used on Rezo for that attempt where he was just a little bit too far forward inside of the Dire Ancient camps. And I mean, that just means that they're not able to fight. Every single minute that ticked by, the graph was tipping more and more in Team Spirit's favor. So Collapse, well-deserved MVP. And, well, if Team Spirit are going to make another deep run into TI, he is going to need to keep delivering performances like that. So for all the Spirit fans out there, be happy that he is. But you got to keep it running. Team Secret are a very strong team, so you can't look to rest on your laurels and just think that you've got the rest of these games in the bag.
No, you can't at all. We'll see what they're going to be able to do to try and change it up here, because it is a very difficult team to go up against. But Secret have been very impressive as well. So kind of a lot of it's going to be set up in regards to who has the priority heading into the second game, because I believe game one it was Spirit. They had first pick, where we saw the Nyx assassin picked up, kind of taking it away from Secret. Actually, no.
Oh, that's unfortunate. 2 healers killed me in the back.
We had a Moro 1v1 beam. Didn't work though.
Reaper outside. Probably going inside now.
So D.Va gets countered by Zarya. L. But when they don't pick Zarya, D.Va OP.
Okay, so what do you do to counter Zarya?
Zarya.
Alright, I love one that has only the counter of themselves.
Yep. I think that's it.
Slap one of those motherfuckers. Get slapped!
Zarya. Zarya's won! No, the Reaper killed me. We gotta do something with the Reaper. I think we need help with Reaper. The Reaper is just doing Reaper shit.
Does Roadhog counter Zarya?
Does it?
I don't know. That's one. Yo, Mercy, one hit. Going to res, going to res. No, he's leaving? Nice, that guy's
I'm on point, help on point. Killer Mercy.
I died to what's his face up top? Fire and low guy.
Tire killed me. Nice. Yeah, it's the Mercy is fucking going crazy. The reses. Like, how is that fair that she could shift out in the fucking grab? That doesn't make. Why can Moira go invis in grab? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, Reaper can.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she used to actually leave it.
These guys are just meta abusers.
What the fuck, man?
I agree, dude. Let's get a meta team right now. Listen, I'm gonna hold on. Listen, let me look up Overwatch 2 good comps. Hold on.
No, those are for bronzes.
I'm looking. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hear me out here, okay?
Let's see what. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
Let's see what it is, dude. Junker Queen, right?
Okay.
What you got?
We can do Junker Queen if you guys want.
Where the hell Junker Queen comes in? Who says Junker Queen?
Hold on, I put to the wrong side. This one's not good.
What video or site says Junker Queen?
Top 10 best team comps. Hold on.
Oh, God.
Winston, Diva, Lucio, Tracer, Zenyatta. Winston's the tank. Diva's,
This is Overwatch 1.
Okay,
There's
hold
2
on.
tanks.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. There's only 5 people, though, so they're stupid. And
That's
it's literally
Overwatch
listed as
1.
Overwatch 2.
Yeah, type Overwatch 2, man.
I did!
Oh.
That's literally listed as Overwatch 2 best team comps. Obviously, they're liars.
Because they're trying to get the click, bro. They got the click from you. They just renamed their old shit.
Okay, aggressive, dominant comp. Starting strong with our first comp for Overwatch 2. We have Junker Queen, Genji, Sojourn, Bridget, Lucia. Nope, not happening.
Oh,
Bridget.
my
Wait, we
God.
can actually. Wait. Then how about this one? Classic 3. These are 3s comp. Brawl comp, spam them. Okay, these are awful. This is an awful idea. We can ask chat.
You guys just cranking out bad ideas.
Okay, this one's different.
How does this guy have Moira so low? This is trash. Like, what?
We could just use all S tier champs, right? Let's run Genji,
Poke HD.
either Orisa or Zarya, Sombra.
I'm not
Lucio.
thinking. I don't like thinking. I'm out. Put me on DPS now.
Can't hear Genji, you doofus.
Yeah, go back to Genji is what I'm saying.
You're
I'm too DPS heavy on fucking. I like doing damage.
If you go DPS, we have our random tank. I think we win
Yeah.
all night.
Man, this fucking list has Junkrat as a D class hero, lowest class. Can't take
Which one are you
this.
looking at? The card Q one?
Some random one. I'm looking at some random one. PC games. N
I mean, Junkrat is pretty shit. You know that, right?
No, fuck no, he's not. Piece of shit ass.
In high
hero.
rank, he's trash. He gets countered by everything.
Yeah, Junk's
Is
not really that
Genji,
strong.
is Genji trash now, right?
No, he's just viable everywhere right now. He's just actually just really good. But he gets countered though. Like you could easily shut down Genji. Not easily, but it's happening though. Just play Moira, that's what I think.
True.
I think Genji is really strong, and I would be happy to take a nerf, but they have to nerf everything else. Like in high rank, Sojourn is just broken then. Am I wrong? In high rank, you just fucking click heads if you're good enough. Boom.
What?
Like, Sojourn is technically the most broken hero then, ever.
Why? His
Does he-
ult is kind of whack. Hers.
No, the
kind of
ult,
whatever.
the ult is, you don't need a good ult on him because you literally just make picks by getting headshots all game.
Yeah,
you
but you
get-
can do that on like Ash and still have
Not
some
like him, though.
survival stuff. He's got his fully auto is definitely like Pepperidge Farm and can fuck people up, but his left click is not. It's
You
gonna
just
be like
spam tank,
just pick-
get
yeah,
70 or
pick
get
one.
damage boosted at 70 or get
Yeah.
100 and easily get, like if you're, the top players are going to get headshots every time they try. You know what I mean? For picks. They're going to
every
get it.
time they try.
I mean, when it matters, yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, I really think so. Like
I definitely think they're gonna hit their fucking shots without a doubt.
the character will be broken enough to at least be where you have to be aware that you just insta die anytime to Sojourn. If they have a Sojourn, you just can't take the risk.
I mean, but isn't that just like Hanzo all the time?
True, but Sojourn's better. 'Cause it's hit scan. Give her a good ulti, she'd be busted.
She just has she has pick capabilities and pressure, which is pretty good. It's like I don't have any pressure on Ash while I'm trying to get picks. You know what I'm saying? But Sojourn is basically pressure into a pick. So that's
Ash
nice,
just
yeah.
seems way better. I don't know why people are not just saying Ash is the best character. I think she is the best character for DPS. Who's not ready?
She really has like a good. I haven't. I've just been chilling. She really has like a good, like just good kit.
Yeah, she's
all
so
around.
strong. Sombra is really annoying. You gotta try Sombra. I don't know if you like that playstyle though.
And I tried it for a little bit. She's okay. Really frustrating when you go up against a good one for sure. Just fucking with the backline the whole time. It's just
Yeah.
like it's a nightmare.
What up, chat? What up, gamers? Love you all. What'd you guys do tonight?
Arriving at Chateau Guia.
I aim to devastate. I aim to devastate. The hunter. Je me sens vivante. right into my web.
Oh. Why?
How thrilling.
How am I missing this? I usually don't miss.
Aim to devastate. I aim to devastate.
Yo.
Double kill.
I aim to devastate.
Double kill.
I aim to devastate.
Smokey, you dodged like 100 bullets.
Yeah, I was getting like 1v3'd, man.
Devastate. I aim to devastate.
Oh.
I aim to devastate.
Okay.
Now enter your defensive role. Select your hero.
Hey.
What else is on the tier list, man?
We doing tier picks or what?
What do you want?
We're in this together.
Well, according to my calculations, Sojourn is S tier, so I'm gonna pick that here.
Time in the field was done.
Soldier Death here.
I guess you can't predict everything.
Man, all those sites were scams, dude.
Yes, sir.
There are no secrets.
Tier list is our personal experience. I think.
There are what?
I don't know what I'm saying. I drank too much water.
Huh?
I'm gonna mute. I'm stoned, bro, so I'm gonna be annoying.
Never buy no weed from the gas station, bro.
5, 4, 3.
This guy wants to hold back here.
Hey, Diva?
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Nice.
If they haven't had enough, mucho mejor.
Perez, though.
System compromised.
Hack Diva, kill Diva.
Feeling much better.
Dude.
Oh, I got fucked. Oh no. Hanzo. There's Genji and Hanzo.
Spirit here.
I think you need a lot for Secret. I think you really need a lot. A hero that doesn't mind about people getting on top of you.
Choose your hero.
Conqueror is definitely one of them. Helps
not
kind
bad.
of deal with the push as well. Coming out from the Beastmaster, you're not really going to address again the Pangolier, but you're somehow hoping that it's Puppey and Bloodseeker can do that. So yeah, you're looking just to be a body and get involved early here for Secret. So yeah, I don't mind the pick. We'll see if it's going to be able to help out. We were both kind of favoring Spirit's lineup even before we saw the last phase. Do we think anything has changed?
Well, I think Team Secret are just banking on the fact that they are hoping to try and dominate these lanes, right? Enigma, such a strong laner. Bane, Bloodseeker. Really easy setup for a lot of these kill attempts. Yeah, you will have the Boar, I suppose, on Collapse to be able to break the Nightmare so that maybe that isn't as big of an issue. But we know that Spectre's a weak laner, and it's probably going to be a... Maybe it's Spectre Silencer, but there's going to be a double melee lane somewhere for Team Spirit. So I think if Secret are going to have any chance, they need to crush these lanes. Not just win, they need to crush the lanes to give them the tempo that they need to be able to find that extra item and be able to invade onto the backlines, take out the Silencer, and hopefully use that to win the game.
Well, it seems like it's kind of a similar recipe to what we saw in Game 1, where we feel like Secret, they have a draft that is going to be enabled through the early stages, but if we get to the late game where Spirit's lineup is able to get the items and the levels as well, then we've got big concerns. So you said kind of they have to just win the lanes and go from there. Is there any lane in particular, or just every single one? Like, they need to win all of them.
I think they've got the tools to win every single lane. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But Team Spirit are a very talented team, so they're not going to make it easy. I mean, you've got a Kunkka who wins most of his lanes, right? But he's up against a Pangolier, a Toronto-Tokyo Pangolier as well. Something that he's shown that he is super exceptional on in terms of his individual performances coming through. I think whatever lane Yatoro goes into, honestly, Collapse might even be the bigger issue. You're just worried about making sure that you're dumpstering him so that he's not able to get that farm, so that you're able to pick him off nice and early, so that he doesn't have the Blink Dagger to enable those quick pickoffs, right? Onto the Bane, onto the Enigma. So I think probably just a little bit more emphasis being given over to shutting down the Team Spirit side lanes.
Does look like both sides, Spirit and Secret, should be able to get this D-Ward with the smoke from the position 5s. And yeah, Puppey's going to get his D-Ward. I might actually deny his own. That's going to be the case. So I will further on to the point of what I think Secret are able to do successfully. I think what their lineup can thrive on is that they do have a lot of pickup potential, and if they get towers early on off the back of catapult timings, it can be a bit awkward for Spirit to play the map. You've got Clockwork that can set up on a side lane. You've got a Bane that can set up as well. And we've seen what Nisha's Conquer can do. Like, he is, I really think, one of the best Conquers out there. Mm-hmm. So if they can get kills across the map and get a lot of pickoffs, it can be a bit awkward for Spirit to play the early game. But that, again, is all set up off the back of how the lanes go.
Puppey has to be a little bit careful here. They don't have the summons just yet to be able to deal with it. They do have the battery assault, though.
Just run past the blood right, then turn back around instantly as soon as it expires. Like, all right, we can maybe do some damage now, but very similar to what we saw in Game 1, Maposhka just getting chased from the Puppey man.
I wonder how long he wants to stick around here. Obviously, you don't want to be going all the way back to base. You want to try and get back to the lane as quickly as possible. That TP. I mean, it's not the strongest lane, again, for Spirit on the bottom side. There's nothing stopping him from TPing away, but again, it's just about this divide and conquer strategy, right? You want this to happen. You want a 1v1 between the Beastmaster and the Bloodseeker for the bottom side. So Maposhka's doing his job. I think Puppey needs to get back to lane.
What is this? Oh god, Puppey's gonna stay on the high ground. Like, no, you're not going anywhere, sir.
At least he's not going to get
Oh
level
my
2
God.
anytime soon on Puppy, so that Nightmare's not going to be as a big of an issue. Can't send the
Dude.
courier there.
There's a minute of this.
This is the most intense
I-
gameplay
but-
I've ever seen.
Let's see some predictions. How long?
Hold on one second. There's stuff happening in mid lane. Toronto Tokyo is already getting pushed underneath his own tower again. Nisha doing a great job there. I don't think they're going to be able to pick this one up. Has he got the brain sap up in another 10 seconds? He does, and he's used... Has he used 5 tangos already on Miposhka? This is pretty big for Puppy.
I don't know how many brought out, but he's definitely used a lot. But alright, but Poshka has entered the lane. A minute 30 in. Meanwhile, Collapse is... Oh, with the boat. Collapse is going to go down, actually. Oh, and no, Miposhka giving bonus movement speed to Chrysalis gets first blood. What a very interesting start to this game, too.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. You know, the Thirst coming through, just allowing him that little bit of extra damage, the ability to dominate the lane. So, in the end, very nicely done by Puppy. Shows what I know.
Alright, now we can look at the lanes. Now we can get ourselves set up. 2 minutes in, we can see how everything's shaping up at the moment. Mid. Looks like Nisha with the battle against Toronto Tokyo. Relatively nice start for Nisha. To be expected. I mean, the Conquer's a much better laner than the Pango, but Toronto Tokyo will do well and truly okay in this lane.
Got to make
He's,
sure they keep
back to his
securing the water
shenanigans.
runes as well for Toronto Tokyo as well, right? Kunkka, not one of those heroes that relies on the mana for being able to effectively harass and get his farm in the lane. Pango, completely the opposite. He needs to use the shield crash and the swashbuckle as much as possible, and even with those, you can just see Nisha already doing such a great job of bullying Toronto Tokyo out of this lane. So, I mean, not mission accomplished just yet, but nearly 3 minutes in, we've got 2 lanes going very favorably for Team Secret.
I think this mid lane's all going to come down to the torrents from Nisha. If he can clip some of the stray ones without using the X, continuing to put a lot of harassment into Toronto Tokyo early, making sure it's very difficult to last hit under the tower. And he's missed a couple here for the Pangolier.
Yeah, gets the range creep though. I mean, Nisha just playing around with the tower aggro most importantly, right? Making sure to use the Tiebringer for it. Not too many right clicks on the Pango under the tower, enabling him to stay in the lane just that little bit longer, and let's actually force Toronto Tokyo all the way back to be able to pick up the bounty rune just to get back to the lane. I'm not sure how effective the magic stick's going to be again against the Kunkka for the laning stage, but he just feels like he might need to make a few rotations, perhaps around the power runes, which are only coming up in about 25 seconds. So will he get some assistance perhaps, or will he die?
Guess it's going to come down to how the creep equilibrium set up in some of the side lanes. The carries and off laners are in a position where they'll be okay, as it's actually top lane. Resolution, with the help of Zayats, is able to get a kill. So we've seen a couple of recent games here from Secret that they've kind of swapped up the lanes with Puppy, you know, playing up top with Resolution, then Zayats playing down bottom with Crystallis. And you know, we see this time it's back to the natural setup and already enabling this good start that Resolution's having.
They've also got the phase boots now completed as well for Chrysalis, so with how well these lanes are going, it's really going to enable the Bloodseeker to perhaps put even more pressure in onto Collapse. Right now, you've got the wave pushing under the tower, so not as much of that kill threat, but certainly is going to be a scary spot to be in with Miposhka. Going for a bit of a gank attempt here, but you always have to be careful into a Bane lane. I mean, both the Bane and the Bloodseeker are so effectively able to trade, especially against, again, this dual melee lineup.
It just seems like really both side lanes are very similar. Secret, they're looking to try and spam out to bring down the boars, and then for Spirit, they're doing the same thing top. Just the dagger, 2 points in it, mirror as well with the arcane curse as well. Enough damage thanks to the kind of change to the Eidolons, reducing a lot of the magic resistance.
Nisha again, just dominating the... He is 900 net worth ahead of Pango 5 minutes into this game. That is how well Nisha is playing this one. Like, he is absolutely dominating. He's nearly got his level 6 at 5 minutes. That's some crazy timing. Very few CS missed out on. He's going to look to get the Observer Ward planted if he can around just before this power rune timing, so that he can look to deny it away from Toronto Tokyo and maybe even enable some sort of movement towards this lane if he gets that solo pick off before Pango hits level 6.
They might need that extra stun from Zayats. See Toronto Tokyo instantly starting to play his distance here. And with top bottom Puppy just going down 2 points of the battery cell from Miposhka. Feeling like he has an opening to try and clean the Bane if he's off solo. And almost has enough damage.
Tokyo, though, he's got the siege creep in the lane, looking to play around that bottom power rune and hoping that luck's on his side. He's going to need a little bit of the Gaben RNG to be able to secure it, and he doesn't. He even commits with the shield crash, so might be in a little bit of danger here, not wanting to commit the both just yet. How on point is Nisha? I mean, you still just can't come back into this lane, right? What are you supposed to do against this? You're running out on mana because you didn't secure the rune. At least you've got the bounty to play with. Maybe he looks to... I mean, you can't even make a rotation until you're level 6.
So I think the angle for Toronto Tokyo is going to be just try and soak up your level 6. You're not too worried about this mid lane tower going down without a catapult. So once you get your Rolling Thunder, then look to make a play on the side lane. This bottom lane for Poshka, trying to kill off Poppy. The Nightmare's going to be able to set up for the Blood Ride. In fact, he doesn't have enough mana for it. Going to be relying on the good old right clicks, but the Cox can put himself in an awkward position on Crystallis. So he's got the movement speed to try and catch up. One more right click will do the job. He'll even get a Choreo for good measure as well.
Easy game. Poppy, a little bit short on the mana as well. Otherwise, they could have potentially gone for this kill onto Collapse. But again, lane's going quite well. Surprisingly enough, top side, the first death on Team Secret goes to Rezo. Most of the time, he's always renowned for having that super strong start to the game, and they might be able to get another easy pick off here onto Mira. Just looking to accelerate that net worth now on Nisha, farming up multiple camps at once. This is someone that's an absolute expert, even picking up some of those power runes. Didn't even need to use the boat for that, so Yatoro means that he's not getting his farm from the lane, has to stay off into the trees. He's done a pretty good job so far, as actually looked to commit the black hole, and yep.
Yeah, that he will. Zayat's going to hold the stun, trying to use the perfect chain control, and that'll enable them to ramp up the damage required with all the Eidolons. Beautifully done from Secret. They didn't even need the rotation from Nisha.
Yeah, and the happiest one about all of this is Toronto Tokyo. Pushes the lane in, he soaks up that farm, he's level 6. He's even potentially going to be able to secure that double damage rune for himself, which you just cannot give up to Nisha. He's got too much of a net worth lead. Will he look to use the torrent to be able to interrupt it? No way. No way. No way.
Oh, he got it. Okay, let's see. Toronto Tokyo is going to try and make the attempt with the Rolling Thunder. They can use the boat defensive with the run buff. Let's see if Nisha's going to be survivable. One TP's coming out. In fact, Nisha might look to turn it around to Miposhka. Threatening the Clockwork's life, but they will back off. So a couple ultimates expended along with some rotations out of the supports.
Oh man, if he got that, if he got that DD rune and it was able to turn that around.
Whew. Bottom lane, Collapse might be in some trouble here. Trying to use the micro to hold back Crystallis, but Poppy with the Nightmare will enable the Bloodseeker to close the distance. Some juking has to occur if Collapse is going to be able to stay alive. He's going to run to Miposhka, acting as the bodyguard. Crystallis goes a long way around, tries to get in front, he doesn't. Oh no, Collapse chucks out an Axis. They've got Yatoro was on. No way, Collapse doesn't die. Still in the lane he goes. They need a little bit more damage. One more right click will do it. Collapse will turn to stand his ground. They don't get the kill.
He gets a 6.
And now we got the roll from the experience from the... Oh no, what just happened?
Oh, Collapse just happened. That's what... I mean, that is the most demoralizing thing that you can imagine. Even the Haunt there, just to provide that little bit of extra, damage output, get him that little bit lower. What a play coming through from Team Spirit. The individual dominance coming through from Nisha in mid for Secret, and from Collapse for Spirit is just way too much. This is a show.
Let's see if they can continue that now. Spirit, it's going to be a very difficult defense of the top lane. Nisha's nearby to help out as well. Boat's going to get laid down. They need a little bit more damage. Nisha's going to try and find an angle for the Tidebringer instead, or just run out of the tower. They even got Crystallis here as well with the Rupture. Toronto Tokyo will attempt to TP out and he'll make it. They're going to try and cut their losses here, but look at the spread damage. Crystallis to Mira, they're lacking the stuns because the rest of the team are focusing down Miposhka's Clockwork.
At least they still get the aggressive push in onto the tower. They get a couple of kills. And well, for Team Spirit's sake, you've got Collapse playing down on this bottom side. Able to hit into this tower, keep the creep wave pushed. Again, they're playing for the later stages of this game. I mean, what a play. Getting the level 6 off the back of that. You don't expect this. Big smiles.
Oh god. Some scary issues now. At least Secret, like one thing we were saying is that these lanes had to go really well for them, and they have. They had 2,000 net worth lead now. T1 tower top's been claimed. What else needs to go right for Secret here?
Oh, they got to keep the tempo moving. How close is Nisha to some of his timings?
Postcard. Finds Zayat.
Black hole if they need it.
Boys playing behind him. With Chrysalis just beating down Clockwork. An easy kill onto Maposhka, and Zayat will not be able to escape though. Toronto Tokyo will be able to claim the life, and now he's going to move in for Chrysalis as well, as we're at choke point, so we get a couple bounces back without the rupture proving to be too much of an issue. But Poppy, he's even going to make the rotation as well. Another easy kill for Chrysalis to find. So again, Secret bringing multiple members for these early skirmishes.
And importantly as well, not committing super heavily for it either on Team Secret. They still didn't use the black hole for that attempt, and it means that you still need to be playing a little bit scared. No Pango means that you can keep pushing the waves out as much as you can. I'm liking this play coming through from them. They're grouping up a little bit more than they were in that game number 1, and hitting their timings, realizing the strength of their abilities when used in conjunction with each other. Regen rune bottom. Puppy's not going to, of course, pick it up. Just looking to soak up a little bit more of that that experience for himself. And it's all about just trying to sustain yourself as much as you can in these team fights. Not give your life up for free. See if you can wait out the usage of that global silence before committing the Fiend's Grip. So more points than usual that we would normally see on this Brain Sap. Also helps to assist with maybe some of the split push coming through. Better time at being able to deal with the summons. Speaking of those, they're just pushing down into this bottom side of the tower, trying to bait someone to make this move a little bit more defensively on Secret, but they're not taking the bait. They want to keep playing aggressively. They know that they don't have to deal with the Helm of the Overlord for the next little bit at least. So they're happy enough to lose out on some of this net worth because they've still got other ways to be able to pick it up. Mid lane, top lane, that's enough for them right now.
Yeah, we see with all the... Actually, Secret, they're going to smoke themselves. Maposhka's in a pretty good position to pop this. They're going to go the long way around, though. Wanting to finally shut down Collapse on the Beastmaster. Nobody scout out his position. Maposhka is nearby to cancel the Fiend's Grip if required.
They saw him, though, so they know to play around it. Half duration left on that. They're going to try for the full wraparound here onto Collapse.
They need more members.
They do.
The TPs, they're starting to come out. There we go, post screen. Prime hookshot onto Puppy. They need the Fiend's Grip to be able to hold them down, but it will not matter as Chrysalis and Zayat finds an opening to lead into the fight. Even Resolution will show up as well. So Secret putting a lot of importance on these early game fights.
Again, they know they're hitting their timings together. They know they've got the Wraith Pack, Black Hole available, Tier 1 tower still standing. They want to make sure that they're taking that away from Yatoro as much as possible. He shouldn't be feeling safe to just sit in this dire side of the map and farm safely in the jungle, and, well, you definitely shouldn't be feeling safe on a silencer. Mira just getting easily picked off by the team as he tries to drag the aggro away from the tower.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And now with that, Anisha, BKB, he's looking to make the aggressive move forward, realizing how hard he is to kill, trying to, yes, accelerate his own net worth, but also deny some of this away from Team Spirit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The little farm you can slow down from Spirit getting is going to be incredibly important. Taking the camps away here from the Spectre. Or even the camps for the Pangolier as well. You have Toronto Tokyo rushing to the Lincolns.
Oh, they found Yatoro.
Yeah, they're onto Yatoro. Resolution.
What are they going to commit
point of the
for
Midnight Pulse. Hesitant because of the use of the Blade Mail, but Poshka's nearby as well. They've got the Global Silence. They're going to hope that they don't need any ultimates, but Poshka, oh, what a beautiful angle. It somehow slips the hook shot into the middle, but Poppy and the boys are nearby to respond once again. A Fiend's Grip to hold down the Rolling Thunder, and they will be able to chase Maposhka into the tree line as Chrysalis finds a double kill, and now the Tier 2 tower is going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Secret are too good to just let you get the perfect global silence off, right? You're always going to need to get something in exchange for it. That time around, they popped it early, realizing, look, there's no BKB for the turnaround. We're still going to lock out this black hole. We're still going to stop this Fiend's Grip from coming through. They get the 2-for-1. They get some damage in onto the Tier 2 tower. And, well, they even get another kill onto Mira. Movement coming down top from Rezo, looking to not give up their own Tier 2 tower for free. Again, Collapse is doing a pretty good job of creating space by shoving out this bottom side, forcing the more defensive movements. No black hole used, but if if you're not up there with the rest of the team, you can't make use of it. I think
See what Spirit can do.
That's what Rezo's thinking, right? He knows that they can probably look to commit the global silence for the Fiend's Grip in the next couple of fights, right? Puppy's actually going for a Lotus Orb super early on for himself, just wanting to provide that cleanse to make sure that, you know, maybe he might not get it onto himself. Maybe he uses it in onto Rezo, who's going for the Blick Dagger.
He's going to see resolution, but the rest of Secret is starting to connect. They need to be quick on the kill, and they should be able to do so. But the other boys have shown up once again. A Secret always nearby to be able to capitalize on a team fight. A 2-for-1 exchange. Chrysalis gets the double kill, and now they can once again swarm out on the map.
They've done pretty well with their strategy, right? This is exactly how the game needed to go for Secret to have a chance in this 5K net worth lead, but if you just have a quick look over at Dota Plus, it's obviously Secret favored a little bit, but not as much as you might expect from an 18-6 kill score. Just 62% right now. And for good reason. Spectre, if you let her get to the late game, if you let that Blink Dagger and some of these other backline invading items and abilities start to come out from Team Spirit, then suddenly the game can turn a lot more towards you. You've already got the Helm of the Overlord available. He's going to take over the Ancient Thunderhide, so maybe now's the time that Team Spirit actually look to make a bit more of an aggressive move. Yasha nearly picked up from Yatoro, level 11 on Beastmaster, with that Helm of the Overlord that I mentioned. Could almost be go time.
I wonder when Secret feel like they can force the issue on Roche as well, because they don't have the greatest lineup.
I don't know if they need to. Like, what big abilities are you really needing to stop, right? Of course, Roche is great, but I feel like they need to put even more emphasis onto just taking these towers. That's the bigger objective this game, in my eyes.
Do you think they can... So you obviously think they can take tier 2 towers without Aegis?
Yes. Yeah, you're stronger right now. You've got the Enigma. You've got the pushing potential. You've got decent vision up around the area. I'm an idiot. They're going into Roche anyway. But, you know, again, you're going to have to give something up in exchange for this. Collapse takes the tier 2 tower, gets them closer to that next item. He's going to keep trying to put the pressure down here with the Helm of the Overlord. So, yeah, you might take Roche, but what are you going to lose in the meantime? Got the Clockwork as well, Rocket Flare, used into the Roche pit. They look to go for some sort of big play here, and you're going to need to make a decision, right? Collapse is still Radic.
And this is what's going to happen for the entirety of the game now. Like, Secret are just going to look to ball up, and in fact, they're backing out of Roche, so they're not even getting it. This is a lot of gold that's going Spirit's way, and again, you do not want to give this team the late game.
Yeah, even just using the Rocket Flare this time, with the vision that they've got around the pit, realizing that if it hasn't fallen down now, maybe they did back off. And so, Miposhka putting the Rocket Flare inside the tree line, making sure that Collapse can continue this rat play. I don't think they're all that concerned about the Roshan, to be perfectly honest.
No, not at all. You don't care about this Aegis. Like, yeah, Secret are going to ball up, but now you just have an open tier 3 tower. So Secret have to push through bottom. Like, ideally for Radiant, you want to take this tier 2 top. You want to try and play in the top jungle. I don't think you can do that now because they're opening up the barracks.
Yep. Complete agreeance there. I think they would have gotten a little bit more value if they just took the tier 2 tower in time. I suppose that would have just meant that you still lost the tier 3 tower, but I mean, you've got a Conquer that can just use the X marks to go back, right, and be able to deal with that. So I don't know. To me, it's just Collapse again, playing another stellar game, realizing the weakness of the draft. Of course, he didn't get the best time out of the lane. He had that, of course, enormous play, but ever since then, he's done an amazing job of creating space for Yatoro, meaning that 2-death start hasn't ballooned into much more. They're clawing back that net worth.
Bottom lane. See as well, Spirit trying to set up a trap, but Secret again bringing more members. Need to try and get control of the jungle again. They need to try and get control of the map just in general. Not let Spirit continue to find their farm for free, because they are getting way too much out of these past couple of minutes. As Poppy probably going to be the target of the Roar and just an easy kill. And that's all you need here. Bring down one member. It'll make him work for it. Poppy will still go down nonetheless, but Secret are going to look for the rebuttal. And they'll catch up to the Clockwork. Oh, even Global Silence potentially just to cover the retreat of Collapse.
Yeah, they realize how important he is. They still were able to take out the Helm of the Overlord creep, so there's not going to be as much pressure put down onto this bottom side. So I like that out of Team Secret. What this does mean as well is that with the global being used, maybe now with the Blink Dagger on the black hole, you're free to make a big play happen. It should be a pretty free kill onto Mirror here. I mean, it's a silencer. You can only do so much in the lane, and well, they're going to reveal the lane. Okay, they hit the Malefice though.
Really bit awkward. Couple of spell casting. So Secret had to look to address this mid lane because the catapult. So they will continue to hold their tier 1 tower. And finally, the map is in a good position for them to get something out of it. All the lanes over the halfway mark. They should finally be able to get some firm control back with this Aegis. It's been a really a big nuisance through the past couple of minutes. Spirit have been annoying for them.
And you just see Collapse immediately going back, taking another one of those ancient creeps. The extra health is going to do a good amount of work, but again, maxed HP against an Enigma and a Bloodseeker. Doesn't have the Blood Rage just yet with the Aghanim Shard, but as soon as he picks that one up, he doesn't really care about these high HP pulls, so...
Nisha, they're going to make the attempt. Yutori's going to get involved as well as Nisha gets blown up. This is starting to get some really dangerous territory here for Secret.
Yeah, even, like, not even committing Collapse for that one. They just use a Toronto Tokyo to go down onto the bottom side to potentially force more defensive rotations. Again, they're basically playing the style that Secret have tried to play. This really greedy, like, play for the later stages, and Team Spirit do it better than anyone else. They just know the
Poshka.
times they need to
Great
hit.
positioning. They're okay with giving up the life of the clockwork. You need core kills. You can't be continuing to get these position 5s. And in fact, Spirit, they're potentially thinking about taking a fight. Toronto Tokyo with a Rolling Thunder just wants to snag the Illusion Rune and get out.
He was tempted to use the Fiend's Grip there on Puppey just to try and catch him off guard, but yeah, they've hit this little bit of a snag in their plans, right? Mira, he's died 6 times, but again, you're not doing what you're good at with Silencer, but it's what you have to do. You have to shove these lanes away. If you could avoid dying like he has tried at this top side with the use of the Observer Ward, then great. You know, you forced some kind of movement up towards this top. It means that Nisha isn't clumped together with the rest of the team, and you've only got a minute left on this Aegis, so you might get a tier 2, but I feel like Secret were wanting to get much more out of this Aegis than just that.
Yeah. I think we're really seeing Spirit do an incredible job at just exploiting the support duo on Secret. Like, they're great at pickoffs, but their lanes, man, they can't do anything. Like, you always have one lane that is shoved in. Again, someone has to address bottom.
Yep.
Like, this is maybe where Nisha needs to consider about a boots of travel, but you've already committed too heavily into your build.
I still think it's probably worth it, to be honest, and with the tier 3 tower going down, it just means that you can use the Hawk a lot more further towards the tier 4 towers as well, right? You don't even necessarily need to have it covering the tree line. You can see a bit more of the supports that might be able to be standing on the back lines, and that just enables, for example, Yatoro to be able to make that individual jump.
Oh boy. Collapse with a freebie. All the sentries out in the lane, just making it so difficult. He's trying to find the opening to bring them down, and Maposhka as well, just again acting as a bodyguard. They do not care how many deaths the support gets. They're even going to rupture the helm of the Overlord creep as well. Like, Secret are just hoping to try and claw this in a position where they can try and get some map control, but oh, this is such an incredible gameplay out of the reigning champions.
Yeah, they're not letting them do anything that they want to right now, and Yatoro, I mean, they're playing defensively now. If they fight, they have the potential to do it, but I think unless someone's completely isolated on their own, they're not going to commit that haunt, and only 2 components away from Yatoro picking up the Aghanim Scepter as well. So you can look to get those individual pickoffs. We saw how quickly even Nisha, the tankiest person on Secret, died when there was that rotation coming through from just 3 of Team Spirit's heroes.
You might need to consider a gem kind of shortly for Secret. It feels like Spirit are just reading them like a book, and again, this lineup needs pickoffs to then be able to get the map into a position, but you need pickoff on the cores and you're not finding them, so maybe a gem is something they're considering, but Puppey really needs this Lotus Orb to have a decent time in fights. Like, Zayats needs Blink as well. Just the supports are getting no farm. It's a very, very difficult game to play here.
It is indeed.
Poshka's just using Dust in the lane as well to see if Zayats is there, but this could be... Oh no, they missed the stun. They're going to see Collapse in the tree line. Instant use of the Global Silence. No hesitation to try and protect the cause. They might be able to turn it back onto Collapse, however. Crystal's going to be able to charge into the middle. He'll go for Maposhka next as well. So finally, Secret will not only get 1 kill, a second, and now potentially a third as well. It's all going to be off the back of Zayat's stun, and he'll be able to land it onto Mira. A triple kill for Crystalus, and this now heavily opens up the bottom lane.
It It does. He's even gone ahead and bought the Aghanim Shard on the Bloodseeker, not wanting to wait for that second Roshan for the freebie. You've still got plenty of heroes that would love to pick it up on your team anyway. Just a little bit of extra control in these team fights through the Torrent Storm would be nice. So Chrysalis realizing how much of a damage boost that's going to give him. And it was all on the back of a clever Midnight Pulse coming through from Rezo, being able to catch them off into the trees. They realize, why aren't we catching these guys? It's because they're playing around that fog of war. Just one clever usage of it suddenly opens up much more of the map for them to be able to play around. 2 towers, multiple heroes killed, and Secret give themselves that little bit of a net worth buffer again. It actually dipped in Spirit's favor, the win probability coming through. I know Dota Plus does love the Spectre, but it's been able to creep its way back up towards Secret off the back of that.
See if it's going to be a fast respawn here for Secret. Love to have this objective to be able to clean and then push down some of the buildings. Potentially baiting Yatoro though.
He's got his Ags though, right before this Roche potentially spawns, but it's a pretty long one. And look at that. As soon as it can respawn, instant rocket flare coming through Makoshka. They're on the ball. Their minds are in the game. They're not stressed by this situation. They've been here many times before. Game 5, TI Grand Finals. You don't get much more intense than that. Oh, and even a Mindbreaker. Such a great item for a Spectre to pick up if they wanted to give that over to him.
This could be a pivotal moment if Secret find the opening. Yatoro's going to show him the lane. Only for a second, though. They'll back up, and it looks like Spirit, finally for them, they're going to smoke as well. We could have a big 5-on-5, but seems like Spirit believe that a Secret are playing behind this top lane.
It's a good assumption. I mean, when you don't know 100... Well, actually, you do know the situation with Roche. You know that that's what they want to play around, right? Maybe they didn't see the fact that the Aghanim Shard was purchased up by Chrysalis just being even more important. They do see Rezo. Oh, the hole!
So a lot of damage coming out from the Spectre Illusion. It might just be enough to get the kill into the Enigma to start the team fight. Toronto Tokyo is now going to try and prioritize the Conqueror as well. How can they re-enter? Yatoro off to the right side, chasing down Puppey. They want to get rid of the supports with ease, and he should be able to do so. No one on Secret protecting the Bane. Yatoro gets a completely free fight, but back in the middle. Crystals can chase down one with a triple kill. A Global Silence going to be able to protect the Black Holes. Yatoro somehow still alive for the moment, but Zayat stun up in a couple of seconds. Resolution can body block if required. Dagger on cooldown to get some distance away. Secret, the rest of the members are starting to converge on Yatoro's location, and there will be no escape for the Spectre. Trying to play around with the Shadow Step. Back and forth he goes, creating all the chaos he would hope for. But somehow they have some vision of him on the high gun. In Secret, a big team fight victory for them.
I mean, they just brought him too low. Old mate Bloodseeker able to pick him off even with that melee attack range. Nothing that's going to extend his right-click range, but I mean, I thought that fight was going to go a lot better for Spirit. They ended up using one of the Fiend's Grip, I believe, onto the Pangolier. He has the Lincolns, so it was wasted. You had to use the Rupture onto the Rolling Thunder. It still is able to take out Toronto Tokyo towards the start of that team fight. It just shows the strength of this Bloodseeker. If you're able to get into this stage of the game and allow the right clicks to happen. Already so fast with the Blood Rage, amplified by the Mjolnir on top of everything else.
They used everything to try and hold him down. Raw cogs to put him in a position where Chrysalis couldn't stun.
Back live. Collapse is actually getting dived a little bit here underneath the tier 2. Looking to try and keep the creeps away from him, but they're just going to commit. Yeah, they will.
They will indeed. Chrysalis protected with the BKB, and you know the fight. Zayats might be in a position to get another one though. They scouted up with Poshka, and they're going to be able to jump forward as well. It's a great position from Zayats, giving them another +1 kill, and this could be the opening for the higher ground now for Secret.
Such a good job with the way that the lanes were. Lotus Orb now as well finished up, so you're going to be able to have that Fiend's Grip capability. Know that against the Lincoln Sphere, though, on the Pango, it's not necessarily the best use of their abilities, but even just to allow, for example, the BKB not to be popped super early on, even just providing the Lotus in onto the Enigma, perhaps, to allow that Blink Black Hole while the BKB still isn't up quite yet on Rezo, would be very big. But you've taken all the tier 2s, you know 100% that Roche is up, so they're just going to go back and claim it on Secret. Good vision set up to Zayats, once again, playing a great game on his Nyx Assassin. They're pinging out exactly where he might be, knowing that they might need to go for the full wraparound in the lane, but he's just looking to get a little bit more aggressive with his position. He catches out the smoke from Maposhka, gets pinged out immediately, and they still secure the Roshan.
And they got a great ward to go to instantly on Secret. Team Spirit have to be so cautious if they stick out on the map here. Shove them back in. Giving any breathing room, Spirit. They're in trouble. They still see Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah, but they should see that Nisha's coming here. They should. Lincoln's going to be popped.
Oh, he's going to go from Maposhka instead. Easy pickings. Look short, tries to... Okay, relatively well done.
A pickoff's a pickoff. But, yeah, able to get away with a double 4-staff coming through. Still a bit of the delay game, though, isn't it?
That it is, but can they stall this high ground? Because it's time for Secret. 13,000 advantage. Maybe you're waiting for the basher to be completed on Crystalus.
Only buybacks on the supports as well. Spirit realized that, look, we weren't able to hold out as much as we thought we were, even though they did a fantastic job. They got to commit with their items right now. And Toronto Tokyo, he's going into the Aghanim Scepter, hoping that they can win the next team fight. It's going to be a 5v6. They don't want to get Collapse caught out super early.
Ruptured up to the northern side. We'll be able to backfire enough away, and that's way too deep for Secret to attempt that, so...
Do you now get aggressive, though? You don't have to worry about the Rupture. You've got Toronto Tokyo with this Basher, with the Lotus Orb, might feel very, very capable of just moving in, taking this next team fight. You just got to fix the lanes. Bottom is fixed. Mid lane, they're doing a fairly decent job, but Chrysalis doesn't want to let them manipulate the map any further than they already have. They even gave the Aghanim shot over to Puppey, just so that they can get that AoE brain sap, so that they can make lanes constantly be in their favor and make these spirit moves more obvious. There's the gem for them, not wanting to get caught out.
Oh, Nisha! That's a big pick. You need the global.
Yeah. 1,600 damage. They're going to test the buyback. Zayad's nearly able to get that blink in as well. Onto the swashbuckle. Could have potentially led to the death of Toronto Tokyo. Still going to lead to the racks going down.
Oh my god, Nisha's conquer, man. The amount of times I've seen him one-hit people. Oh, it's just so dumb.
1,600 damage that time.
That's all they needed, just a little bit of luck from a crit. They see Yatoro out of the base. Uh-oh, scary, Yatoro. What can they do? No one else is nearby. It tries the Manta dodge. Looks like they just have to give up the Spectre's life. He'll try and TP out, but the Tidebringer again from Nisha. No buyback on the Spectre, and they're going to have to do it 4v5.
I don't think they're going to be able to. This is it. This is why Team Spirit, they are a very good team being able to stall it out this long, but Secret, their aggressive tempo. This feels like when they play their most successful Dota, when they're able to clump up together, when they're not waiting for this later game timing. With the mid lane pushing in, there's nothing stopping them from just converging in onto this top side. Upbeat with the gem, they're going to even take out some of the vision that they've got with the Hawks. They still haven't managed it. I mean, the ancient Rumblehide just, you know, trying to pull the waves to influence them that little bit further. Still feeling a little bit conscious of the fact that, well, can we go on this high ground? I think they can. No Aegis, minute and a half, no Spectre. And they're still playing scared. Puppey's all the way back at base.
Oh my lord. The consistent spam of the rocket flare down bottom. You finally are addressing. Puppey's like, give me these gold. Oh, it's a lot of farm too. Look. He's got a lot of net worth. I guess that is helping out with the Aghanim shard. But alright, Spirit, they'll live to see another day. Ages only for a minute. You have to be a little bit concerned if Nisha gets his hand on a DD.
And he will. Alright. I want predictions. How much damage is he doing to Mira?
What did he do last time?
1,600.
I'll say like 2,100.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2,222.
Okay, sure, we'll go with that. So that's great positioning. Once again, you'd always expect it out of his next assassin. Sniffing out any opportunity that Spirit have to try and control the triangle.
Without Puppey there though, they don't see that this Hawk has the entire amount of information about their positionings. And they see that they've got it watered as well. So Team Spirit, they're going to back off. Might go for the full wraparound, but it's going to be a little bit of work to be able to deal with both the super creeps in the mid lane, as well as that top lane that's pretty heavily pushing in. Double siege creep of their own is going to help matters, but I guess they don't really hate waiting as well. We saw how effective they were at timing out that Aegis at the perfect moment in the previous. It's only 5 seconds away. They won't even get rid of the Observer Ward out there. Nisha said, get out of my base.
There we go. Aegis ticks out. This game will continue on.
The boars.
Oh, Maposhka actually looking to jump in. Trying to poke from afar, not heavily committing to blow up Zayats. Toronto Tokyo's gonna get it. Oh no, the Rolling Thunder!
Oh, he's bashed!
Bash from Chrysalis. He'll get out of the ultimate with a swashbuckle, but the positioning off to the right side. He'll look to TP, but Ranzo, no hesitation. They're even gonna global for it. Maybe Toronto Tokyo, the abilities are on cooldown. They'll still chase him down. That global silence used to no avail.
Beyond godlike as well on Chrysalis, really showing why you gotta give respect over to the man's heroes. Many of them were banned out in the draft, but they left the Bloodseeker through. Now they don't have that global, they don't have the Roar, they don't have the Pango left alive, and it was like Yatoro doesn't feel like he's ready either. He wants that Skadi, he wants that level 20, so he can tank up a little bit further. Titan Sliver's gonna help. He might have lost a second lane of Rax in the meantime. With these siege creeps far enough away, never mind. They might just get cleaved down by the multi-shot, so could they stall this out again on Team Spirit? TPing all the way back to base even on Yatoro. Wanting to be there just to be able to poke out there with the Spectral Dagger. Without Pango there really isn't anyone that's going to be able to do the same amount of work except for the Beastbuster. The Rumblehide never really gets the love that he deserves, you know? Mostly it's the Thunderhide. There's the accuracy increase, but no one's holding a butterfly, I don't think, so not going to be as big of an issue. No halberds either.
Alright. What do we got in store for us? Game continuing to push on later. It's just, Spirit, you got to play some really slow fights and not heavily jump in the middle. You have this much of a net worth deficit that if you just face check 5 people, you're going to lose the team fight. It needs to be kind of the haunts to killing off the supports, just not heavily committing, in and out, dancing perfectly. It's really the name of the game. If you can kill off the Bane and the Nyx Assassin and kind of kite resolution, you might have an angle in, but these team fights are not going to be easy at all. There is such a deficit for them to overcome.
They're getting some nice neutral items. Like, this is the first time that they've been able to actually go out onto the map in what feels like 10 minutes. You know, they had 3 out of the tier 3 items at the 37-minute mark. So the fact that they've been able to get to these ancient camp, slightly higher likelihood for these items to drop, means that they get the Stormcrafter, they get the Timeless Relic. You're able to position yourself a little bit more effectively. Maybe Collapse without the BKB, if he gets hit by the Malefice, for example, could just Stormcrafter out of it instead. Level 20 on Yatoro, he's got the Skadi. Might be ready to fight.
It's for them, it feels like if you're going to smoke, you need to be carrying a ward to drop down. This nighttime, you know that Secret have held the gem for such a long time, so you don't really have any wards in a position that you can smoke to.
This is big as well, though, with the Witchbane. They've been able to pick that one up, so you're going to be able to pop a lot of these abilities that they're going to be putting onto people, right? Like the Lincoln Sphere on Bloodseeker. Maybe they get the lockdown that they need onto him with the Primal Roar if the cohesion is there. You know, Haunt, Blink in, get that Roar off, although, actually, never mind. Collapse doesn't have the Blink Dagger. He's going into the Octarine Core. Maybe you need to have a little bit of a change up here to be able to find that key pick off at the start of the fight, because Chrysalis is just getting out of control. He is out of control.
Oh, he's been out of control for kind of
18-1-9.
It's a crazy performance from him. I don't think the Bloodseeker's won a game so far as well, unless some other things have happened throughout the other streams today, but yeah, I mean, it's his bread and butter. He's Grandmaster on the Bloodseeker, so...
What? You've got the Aghanims now on the Pango. You've got the extra swashbuckle damage as well from the level 20. So there's a lot more damage that Tokyo is able to do in these team fights. You gotta enable him, though. You gotta try and find that initial pick off there. Doesn't matter who, honestly. Could be anyone.
Maposhka's gonna go in. I'm gonna try and get rid of the Nyx Assassin through the team fight. Chrysalis, no hesitation with jumping to the cogs, and there will be no follow-up. Maybe trying to make some space, see if Yatoro can have an opening to deal with this final barracks down bottom.
He got X marks back, though, so he's going to be able to deal with it and still make the retreat. Didn't put the Mjolnir onto the creep wave, so could have potentially used that to keep it extra shoved, but he's approaching his level 25. 2 rupture charges.
An aggressive jump on the high ground with the Roar as well.
They found him.
Try and blow up Nisha. It's a lot of damage to start the fight. Down to the low ground they go, trying to target them with the Nyx Assassin. They'll be able to get a double kill.
And the gem.
What a perfect way to start the team fight on Spirit, and they want more now with this advantage. Yotaro trying to chase down Puppies, got to be cautious about the Rupture. That'll just cover the retreat on Chrysalis, but they're still going to be able to catch up nonetheless as Toronto Tokyo easily closes the distance, and Spirit don't even sweat it in that
Roche
team
is
fight, and
up
they
as
can
well.
now consider about Roche.
Oh, you got one creep hitting into your tier 4s, but you don't care. The lane is pushed out enough. Maposhka dragging it away as well, just making sure that your own creep wave is able to overwhelm the super creeps. And like I was saying, it's just an individual pick-off that you need, right? Doesn't matter onto who, but you probably couldn't ask for someone better than Nisha to just be slightly out of position, get that initial stun through. They're going to commit the buyback on Puppy, but I don't think this is going to result in much. It's going to need to be the biggest black hole of all time from Rezo.
He does have Refresher, so he might be able to kind of force out the first Global Silence.
Found him,
They're
though.
going to jump in, though. Maposhka just controlling up the Enigma. He won't even have an opportunity to use the spells. Dancing in and out, Yotaro goes, and Puppy somehow got put on the high ground. He might be able to clean off Mirror, but Toronto Tokyo gets a lucky bash. Soon to be a dieback for Chrysalis. He wants to enter the fight as well. Being able to clean up the Silencer up to the northern side. He's going to get some distance away, but Toronto Tokyo, hot pursuit, a bash there, and now he can bounce back, but Spirit, they want to get out.
Bash. Oh,
They are
Chrysalis
not
went
gonna
for the
stick
bash.
around.
He went for the lucky
Unfortunate that
bash.
they-
And bottom lane's pushing in. I mean, these double creep waves, they are just lasting for way too long. Someone, again, is going to need to come back. Puppy, yoink, says him, with the AoE Braid Sap. But, I mean, the damage that you're able to output, if you're able to just get in on top of them, it's reached this stage of the game. It's a 16k net worth lead, but it's a similar situation with the Rax. You've got the Aegis advantage as well.
Diots, they see collapse on the high ground. Rest of the boys got to move over pretty fast because Nisha with some crits coming through for the Tidebringer, but they can turn it around. Team Spirit playing the distance. Another easy kill with a Global Silence to cover. Oh my, just short. Ooh.
I know that feel. But, yeah, we get the bottom lane. I mean, Puppy, he's not there. He's just continuing to farm. Let me just have a look at the difference between the supports levels as well. Puppy nearly up to the level 20. Not going to really provide him too much in these fights, right? The Nightmare cooldown, it's nice, I suppose, just to be able to juke out perhaps some of these Rolling Thunders or maybe even the Roar if you're really on point. But he is one of the prime targets if Spirit are able to find him position-wise. So it does feel like they're just doing every little thing right. Team Spirit right now to give them the chances to get back into this game. Maybe even looking to play more around this bottom side. You know that they're going to drag people down here to have to deal with this lane. Maybe you can find a pick-off as they try and deal with it.
We've spoken a lot about Spirit's late game and how we feel like this is a 5-man that might have the advantage over Secret. I'm really intrigued to see how Chrysalis is going to be able to scale. I think Bloodseeker with the Ag Shard is very, very undervalued, and in a game like this where you're going up against a Spectre who's going to have a crap load of health, I mean the Beastmaster as well, like if he gets, I think Swiftblink and Abyssal, I think he might be able to do it for Secret.
I think he might need Silver Edge on top of that. Just for the break, but not even just the break for the Spectre's potential, right? Also, you're going up against the Aghanim Scepter on the Pango, not necessarily just within the ball. Every single time that you're using your shield crash, you're swashbuckling, right? So he's going to be going for that disarm. You want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. You want to make sure that you just get that instant jump there and you're able to lock him down.
Anyone shows on the map, they might just die. Yotoro's got a DD. So Secret got to play a little bit more group together for the next 40 seconds or so. Making sure you don't give a freebie away. As soon as you get that kill on Spirit, you can now start to swarm into Secret's territory. See if they can set up. Starting to move down bottom. Crystal's going to TP out. Zayat's in the jungle at the moment. Maposhka was smoked. They've got the vision of the Nyx Assassin as well. Maposhka just needs to line up, and he'll do it perfectly. A great hook shot from the Clockwork, and now you got 70 seconds where you don't have to worry about the Nyx. But Secret, multiple heroes showing down bottom, so they're going to maybe make a play up top.
Gonna have to contend with a pretty healthy creep wave again. Is there a reason they're using this Rumble Hide instead? Maybe just the attack speed aura they feel like is going to provide the extra Radic potential rather than just the simple right clicks?
Radiant's
You
middle
don't need
tower
the accuracy
I
for
can't.
anything.
Not that I can see, no. So, yeah, I'm not sure. You sure? Okay. Jeez. What are the Sages going for next? Lincoln's on the Conquer, almost level 25 as well. So probably going to see the Tidebringer cooldown, considering he really needs to be scaling damage as this game continues to go on.
Nearly got it as well. He had the Aghanim Scepter queued up for the longest time, again, just trying to provide a little bit more space, perhaps some of that chaos that Resolution needs, because we haven't seen that huge black hole yet this game. That's one of the things that could look to bring Secret back into this one, but how many times do you see a team go from a 16k to a 10k net worth lead, and slowly but surely the opposing team is just closing in on your territory? It should be the opposite a lot of the time, but that's just the power of the Spectre, the power of the Vision, and the inability of Secret's heroes to be able to deal with this pushing style of draft.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Momentum is completely swung. They will be able to avoid the Aegis advantage. At least not lose a big team fight. But it has given Team Spirit so much now. Pretty much an angle back into this game. T2 Towers just getting claimed mid. Slow poke from Collapse. And there's going to be no response. So looks like our final outer tower is going to go down.
Go the Tidebringer cooldown as well. Just really wanting to enable Nisha as much as possible. And he's tired of getting caught out as well. Lincoln Sphere, next item built up for him. He's gone into the Silver Edge as well. So, I mean, I really don't see Yatoro ever being in a position where he's going to be caught out first. He's nearly level 25 as well. So, no matter what option he looks to go down towards, whether it be the haunt damage or just the extra mid for the dispersion, he sold the blade mail, so maybe he's going to choose dispersion. He wants the instant pick off.
Again, far forwards. The jump in's going to be there. Nisha's going to try and turn it around off the back of the Tidebringer. There's a lot of damage to be able to start the team fight. It's Toronto Tokyo is going to get overwhelmed. A Secret. 0 casualties from them. A beautiful skirmish.
Yes, they ended up popping the haunt for that one as well, and I'm sure they're going to be aware of that. Still waiting for that black hole. You know, they didn't pop the global silence for it, so clearly they were thinking that we just need to be able to save this for the Enigma. That's the thing that's going to be able to bring Secret back into this game. It's so hard to say that with an 11k lead, right? But it does feel like if they are able to get that big 4-5 man wipe, then they can actually look to aggressively push out these lanes.
They need to try and control their jungle though. With these 2 pickoffs, you need to start to deal with the map, and they're going to do it as a team. Spirit, they have this potential to go for these pickoffs thanks to the Spectre. So there's 1 ward gone. Should be able to get some more as well with the outpost control. So this is incredibly important now for Secret. Gives them a position that they're not too worried about Spirit having full control over.
They're still going so heavy down that burst route though, aren't they? On Team Spirit. Got the refresher orb available on Collapse. You would imagine the Blink Dagger's set to come after that. You know, they've got great ways to jump with the clock, with the Pango, but they just need that extra layer.
Zayats. Gotta find one. He's got Puppy nearby. Yatoro's gonna jump in and just assassinate the bait.
He's out!
And get out as well. They didn't need the global silence to counter it, but they've used the first one.
Oh,
where's the refreshers coming into play? But it looks like both sides are gonna back up.
Split the middle with that hook shot. I mean, you understand the global silence every single time that you see the black hole. That's why you're using it. He's even been able to pick up the refresher orb as well. Silencer, one of the better heroes to actually carry it these days. Not, of course, just for the double usage, but you're always going to need that extra mana regen coming through.
It really seems like that's probably what it's gonna be. Like Yatoro jumping in onto one target and Rezo just waiting for him to use the Shadow Step, where you try and pop the black hole first time, and then global out, and then you use it a second time to follow up again afterwards.
Medium length Roche respawn as well.
Zayats, another jump with Crystals nearby, plenty of damage. Collapse gonna be able to cover with the Raw. Yatoro's in as well. They just blow up the Bloodseeker. And now they're looking for more as Yatoro is gonna be able to catch out Resolution. In and out they go. Have they got detection though? A great timing with the blink, but the Hawk is there to scout out the Enigma. But Spirit, they will not be able to move on over.
Clockwork's got the hook shot available. Again, it's just all about that vision. Coming up in a couple of seconds. Could he catch someone on the retreat, or could potentially Nisha be the one? And he goes for the 1 shot. 2 shot. That'll do.
The rest of the boys are coming. This has been such a weird game.
Oh yeah.
42 to 18.
50 minutes in, 10 minutes away. I don't want to jinx
Toronto
it.
Tokyo mid lane. Sides with the jump. Nisha's got the follow-up as well. Yatoru needs to try and protect him, but the Spectre's not going to do enough. Another big kill for Secret to find him. Resolution's ready to rock and roll. In with the black hole, but the instant counter. Collapse. Going to be able to cover the retreat, but they have to break. Yatoru's in some trouble for the moment. Nisha needs to pump the damage out, but the global silence not going to be enough. A hook shot into the middle, but Zayat's the finishing blow, cutting off the head of the Spectre. But can they get more out of this Secret? They're nearby is 3, but Toronto Tokyo wants revenge and is going to be able to find it. Catching up to the Nyx Assassin, over to the Bloodseeker, he goes next as well, but the rupture from Chrysalis, the double rupture as well, but collapse. A flash to look around the TPR, but he gets the bash. Chrysalis finds 2, and he's looking for more.
He's looking for more, but he might not need it. Buyback coming out from the entire team out of Team Spirit right now. They've got 1 buyback remaining, just the silencer. I don't think you can look to go for these little pickoffs. I guess Roche is back up. You did need to commit the buyback on the Bloodseeker. They're going down the safer route. It'll probably mean that he could look to go into that Abyssal Blade as well, but they had to win that fight on Secret. They absolutely had to. You expended the buyback on Chrysalis, and he pops the BKB, gets the bash on Toronto Tokyo as he uses his own buyback and tries to TP away, gets the bash with all of that attack speed onto Collapse as well, opens up the Roche pit for themselves. And the Aegis still left on the ground there as Chrysalis able to pick it up.
Alright, 4th Roche of the game, the components. We got the Aegis on Chrysalis, Scepter. Resolution's holding it for the moment. Nisha's got the cheese and Refresher Shard as well for the Conquer.
You just got to enable Chrysalis to go in and right-click. I think it's that simple. He's got the Abyssal. You want to try and end the game now? Yeah, I would say so. Lots of buybacks being expended. You find a pick off onto any of these cores, and you could just feel so confident. So Spirit, they're going to be holding themselves up inside the base. I know they like to make these super aggressive moves when they feel like they have no right to, but this isn't the time for it. As Nisha looks to join the rest of his team after fixing the bottom side. They know he's there. Can they wait out this 25 seconds? They've got the glyph.
It's such
they're
an
looking to try and
incredibly
bait.
hard defense.
Look at this. Look at this micro coming out from the Spectre. They're trying to get them to jump in onto him, but it's just the illusion. They're not going to take it.
Lincoln's popped and instantly applying the Lotus Sword. They need Mira. He's really important with the team fights.
Lots of
Not
damage,
going to die to the TP on Rupture. He's close enough. Oh, look at this. I believe they actually gave the Scepter over to Zayat, so now he's just borrowed up on the high ground.
I know.
Oh, follow up. Oh my god. Oh, Conker, what a hero. Get a late game man like this. Nisha's even got a rapier queued up as well. We might not even need it though. Hookshot just shy. Mira's the only one with buyback on Team Spirit.
The only one that they could afford to put forward that little bit further, and they're just going to go down the safe route on a Secret. They make the jump.
Thunder onto Chrysalis, but instantly Lincoln spot and the use of the rupture and the black hole as well for good measure. But there's the buyback, being able to counter out the black hole. A lot of spells casted for the initial life, but how can they reset for round 2 as Nisha jumps over the tree line, over to Collapse they go. A second round of the Stormcraft that gets some distance away. They'll be able to kill off the Bloodseeker, but can they set up for round 2? They don't have enough members on Spirit for the moment. As into the middle they go, but there's the global once again, but it might not matter as Chrysalis stacking up the attack speed, bash up to bash. Fiend's Grip now for good measure. They've locked onto their target, and there might be no escape for the Spectre. A dieback for Yotoro, and now the rest of the team will be buried 6 feet under as they had to work for it Secret. It'll take him 54 minutes to take this game too, but what an incredible victory for them.
And what an incredible performance by Chrysalis in particular. You give the man some of his comfort. I want to see the team getting around him as, instantly Poppy walks over, make sure to give him the fist bump, a bit of a cuddle. Come on, it's needed after such an intense game because Team Secret, they needed that win. They were on the cusp of potentially being one of those teams on the upper side of the lower bracket, and with this, maybe they've just solidified their chances by taking a game off one of the more favored teams and giving themselves a 7-5 series score, I believe. So very, very nice win coming through from them. A confidence-boosting one as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. A very draining series, and I should say game, I can imagine. You see Spirit Well, Secret in high hopes after winning that game and really clutching up in the end, a 54-minute thrill. And then for Spirit, they had to use a lot of brain power to try and even almost find an angle back in.
I just want to have a look into the middle of this team fight because a lot of Spirit just melted here. I was surprised with how much damage they were able to output, but it was really all in the back of Chrysalis, right? He was just in, dealing an immense amount of right-click damage, triple kill already in that team fight, even going for the Ultra, but once the silence is out, once the global's been forced, he could just look to connect in.
Cuckoo. Picking this one off all the ice shards, though, and every little thing. Zephyr's in real deep.
Oh, here's Axe. Oh, going more. Uh-oh.
Way out of this one for him, unfortunately. Rolling Thunder gonna cut him down. Nice play from Team Spirit to get the offlaner and continue the pressure onto the tower.
Oh, Moon's waiting to see if Itoro morphs. He can nuke him!
No!
Oh, he got him!
Really underground the sidelines!
Congratulations, and Liquid have done it, and look how much it means to Boxy. Martu will give him a hug as well, but multiple of these members from Liquid, Insania, Boxy, along with Mickey, both missed out on TI-10, and keep in mind, this has been a team that have gone through it this season. Incredible performances in the tours, but when it comes down to the LAN performances, there's been a lot of questions around the inconsistency, and that was a big question for them heading into this qualifier as well. A lot of people were expecting other teams to make it through, but Liquid, look how strong they look against Virtus Pro. The revenge is there too.
Rebound, and even now the what's that called? Yeah, the side kick. That'll be a kill if Arteezy can get a bash. There it is.
Yeah, giving the kill to Arteezy there.
Though to refill the bottle of the puck. He's only at level 3 though, and he's going straight into Shard, wasting no time. He's not going to quite be able to buy it right at 15 minutes, but again, that's 7 bonus armor early on. That is completely undispellable, which stacks fully with Warcry.
Yeah, but they haven't managed to catch Ame, so he's still the top net worth now, actually, and this is what you need. Like, this was one of the problems for Secret. Like, they didn't have this top...
What, Arteezy? What, you gamer? He caught him in the trees! Unbelievable! Nothing to say. Tried to get out in time. Arteezy knows where he can smell the fear off of him. And will collect his soul with... What a kill! And he's going straight into Shard.
Was one of the problems for Secret. Like, they didn't have this top...
What, Arteezy? What, you gamer? He caught him in the trees! Unbelievable! Nothing to say. Tried to get out in time. Arteezy knows where he can smell the fear off of him. And will collect his soul with... What a kill!
Field, and all of a sudden, EG members will turn it back around, and they'll get Seneko as well. It'll be a slow chase. In fact, he'll go for a TP out, and he might be able to make it, but Crit just in time to be able to stop that.
No, don't give him the balloon animal.
Oh, no.
Oh, oh.
What's going
on? Come on, my brother.
He's going to deny himself. What did I just watch? Oh, on the other side of the map.
Pickoff's pretty great, right? They've got Blink Dagger on multiple heroes now. Pudge, the TA, of course, Nightfall doesn't need it right now. He's got the Shiva's Guard as well to feel completely safe and oh. Just some old teammates, you know, coming together.
At least he said sorry. He didn't mean it. Arteezy. Cookie's gonna get him a little bit closer to the Hawk. Moya will protect him, but he's gonna lose them, unfortunately. Doesn't have a resummon. No jokes. Okay. Back and forth Phantom, but this is looking scary.
Very carefully around this Roche pit currently. They do have one of the Warpine Raiders sitting in the pit waiting for this Roche to respawn.
Honestly, Spirit have done such a good job. What they're doing right now, look at their positioning both the supports right now. They're literally just choking out the approaches to their own jungle. So if anyone smokes in there, they would smoke on a support. Like, they're guaranteeing that smoke ganks are not happening on their cores. And that has been crucial this game so far for them. Multiple times, Entity have tried to make a move and just run into a Nyx Assassin, and it's worth nothing.
Kind of have themselves to blame. And if I'm a teammate of GPK and I click on my Morphling at minute